this is the reason why I got into rallying. To slide on gravel, to drift, to throw on some opposite lock, and to make the car dance your tunes. And in this week's Thrill of Driving School, we're going to teach you how to slide, drift on dirt, and look like an absolute rock star while at it. We've shown you how to slide a front-wheel drive car. We've shown you how to pull a J-turn. And now we're going to demonstrate what I personally think is the most fun you can have in a car, and that is to slide on a loose, slippery surface. And since in India we don't have too many frozen lakes, we're going to show you how to slide on gravel, on dirt. Now, I've done my fair share of rallying, and we're going to show you a few tips and tricks that I've picked up over my years on the INRC circuit. But before that, let me remind you to hit the bell icon, subscribe to the Evo India channel, give us a thumbs up, and also if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. We will take up all your questions. And finally, if you are interested in the Scandinavian Flick, watch the video till the end. We will show you how to do that as well. There's a reason why rally cars are sideways. Sure, it looks cool, but it is also the fastest way on rally tracks. It is how rally drivers maintain speed and carry momentum. And the first thing you need to do is develop car control. How to catch the slide, how to put the car into drift, how much opposite lock to apply. And the best way to do that is to have a buddy along, like our managing editor Anirudh out here. He's actually brave. He sat with me on the last rally that we did, where we finished second in class at the popular rally, and get them to pull the handbrake when you don't do it now, when you least expect it to. And that will teach you anticipation and give you cat-like reflexes. Now there's the difference between the tutorials that we showed you at the go-kart track and what we are doing here. At the go-kart track, by the time you pull the handbrake, you had already shed tons of speed. But here we have an open playground, and that means the speeds are much higher, which means your car control game needs to be on point. Let me demonstrate. Now I'm going to a left-hand corner, second, turn in, handbrake, wind on opposite lock, gas, and straighten the car. And that's how you make the car slide. Now let's break this up into the individual components, the technique into the individual components. Now when you turn into the corner, you need to be quick with the steering. If you are gentle with the steering, then you risk the front end just understeering and going off the corner. So quick and sharp with the steering. Listen to what the car is telling you. Be open to the inputs that you're getting from the car, and basis that, how much the tail is sliding, then you dial in the opposite lock. All that comes from feel. Feel from your backside, feel from the palms of your hand. That's how the car tells you what is going on, and that's how you react and dial in inputs. But more than that, you need to be confident about the car, and don't be nervous about the car sliding. Let the car slide. That is your skill, right? To hold the car, catch the slide. And also, don't worry about the back end. The back end might be sliding all over the place. Don't worry about that. You focus on the front end. You make sure the front is going where you want it to go, and the rest of the car will follow. Forget about the sliding back end. The back end looks cool sliding around, but don't be nervous. You focus on the front and make sure the front goes where you want to go. So the car is sliding, and now here's where your reflexes come into play. For a small slide, just need to put on one turn of opposite lock. That's good enough. But as your slides get bigger, for bigger slides, you need to put on one full turn of opposite lock. And then there is the release. Very important is when you release opposite lock. You have to be precise and just enough. If you don't dial in enough lock, you're not going to catch the slide. But if you're not precise, you'll get into a tank slapper, for instance, like this, and the car will spin around the other way. So releasing the lock is important. I'll show you how to do that properly. So catch the slide, hold the lock, and that's it. You release and just about enough so that the car is then straight, and you don't get into a tank slapper and have to add opposite lock the other way and then hold it the other way, and then you're all over the place. And if it's a narrow track, you probably go off the track also. Then what I think is the most important part, and that is vision. Look where you want to go, and you will go there. Even if it means looking out through the door window, fine, but look where you want to go. If you look at the photographer, you'll hit the photographer. If you look at the rock, you will hit the rock. If you look at the tree, you'll hit the tree. Vision is very important because your eyes tell the brain, and then the brain tells the rest of your body, your hands and your feet, what to do, and that will take you where you want to go. So always look where you want to go. That's the reason why you see rally drivers looking out through the glass out here, because they're looking at the apex of the corner, looking at the exit and looking at the track, not at the other distractions. So even a big slide, look where you want to go and you will go in that direction. Our brain and our body is actually tuned towards target fixation. Target fixation comes from that whole primitive man where you're looking at the danger and you're focusing at the danger. When you look at the danger, you will go into that. So never target fixate. It takes a change in mindset. You have to consciously tell yourself, don't look at the rock, don't look at this, don't look at that, just look where you want to go. You have to keep telling yourself that and then tune that into your body. To recap, turn into the corner, handbrake, catch the slide, look where you want to go, and release. Now I must talk about our friend here, Mr. Handbrake. Now because dirt does not have so much grip, most often you don't need to use the handbrake to make the car slide. Just be aggressive with the steering and the tail will come out and then you dial in opposite lock. But we are trying to make things easier for you and safer for you. So learn to practice at a slightly slower speed, and to get the car to slide out at a slower speed, use the handbrake. So you turn into the corner, you yank the handbrake, this will lock the rear wheels, and then you dial in proportionate opposite lock to catch the slide. So practice at a slower speed, and then you build up your speed, and eventually when you are really good, when you are a proper pro rally driver, you don't really need to use the handbrake. You're then controlling the car with your steering itself and of course the throttle and the brake. A handbrake has multiple uses on dirt. Get the car to go sideways and also spin the car around so you don't have to do 3-point turns. There's more theory on how drifting a front-wheel drive car is different from a rear-wheel drive car. But before we get into that, I want to talk about this car and the gearbox in particular. On our last video, many of you asked if slides can be done with an IMT gearbox. And honest answer was we did not know because we hadn't tried it. That is why we are using the Venue Turbo with the IMT gearbox for this episode. And the answer is yes, you can do slides with it. This IMT sort of gives you that old rally car with a dog box feel. In those dog boxes, once you launched in first, then you never had to use the clutch. You could just bang in gears, and I'm talking with a normal edge pattern gearbox. With the IMT, you sort of relived that era. And when I was rallying, we were privateers and we could never afford dog gears on our gearboxes. And we always used to look at the MRF and Red Rooster boys with their dog gears, and we should look at them with envy. This sort of gives you that feel. Also power. This Venue Turbo makes 118 bhp from the 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine, so there are plenty of horses to whip up. There's also 172 Newton meters of torque. The chassis handles well, and this sport variant also looks sporty. Now back to the theory. In a rear-wheel drive car, you drift using the throttle. Give more gas, more the slide. In a front-wheel drive car, you cannot power oversteer, but you need to be on the power to pull out of the slide. When you are sliding the car is shedding speed. Halfway through the slide, you now have an armful of steering lock. Now, how do you exit the corner hard and fast? For that, you need to get back on the gas. Give it full throttle. That will force the tires to scrabble and find grip and drag the nose out of the slide. This place in the corner, the car is on the edge, very responsive and reactive to your inputs, begging you for the right inputs in fact. If you, for instance, brake hard when it is sliding, say you're looking at the tree coming into your window and get freaked out, bad idea. The car will spin and most likely hit the tree. Look where you want to go and fight the car. Again, if you don't apply enough throttle, the car will also spin. It needs that momentum, it needs power to make the front tires grip, fight for traction and pull the car out of the slide. And if you do this right, man, it looks gorgeous. Car fully sideways, rear kicking up dirt, full opposite lock. This is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. And now your questions.
The first question is obviously tires.
So over here on gravel, there is nothing that really gussaus your tires. So your tires will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Tire pressure?
No need to overinflate the tires. On the track, we were overinflating the tires, but here on dirt, on gravel, your grip as it is low. So there's no need to overinflate the tires. In fact, you need some grip. When your car is sliding, you need some lateral grip. And if you overinflate the tires, you won't even get that lateral grip and you won't be able to control the car. So leave it as it is.
Location?
Location, very, very important. Don't do this on a public road. Don't be a nuisance to yourself or other people. Find a playground like this where we are at and then go wild. And make sure there are no rocks, there are no trees to hit, because when you're practicing this, you will go off. So it's best to have an open field where you can do all of this and a smooth field without any ruts so that your car cannot get caught in any ruts and then create problems for you.
And can you do this in an SUV?
Well, this is an SUV, this is a compact SUV, and you can do it perfectly all right in an SUV. But I would suggest don't try this on a ladder frame SUV, because those, I suggest just don't do it with a ladder frame. Try it with these compact SUVs, mid-size SUVs, it is absolutely fine.
I think that about covers the questions. And if you guys do have more questions, drop it in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, give us a like. We love doing videos like this.
And if more of you give us likes, we'll do more of these.
More fun for us.
And finally, the holy grail, the Scandinavian Flick.
Here we go now.
Going into the left-hand corner, turn right, left, slide flick of the handbrake, power out. Now what this does is it allows you to carry more speed through the corner because you've already agitated the back end, so you don't need to pull the handbrake too much. You won't shed too much speed as you're coming out of the corner, and this is a technique that rally drivers use very often. How do you do this? We will take this up in our next Thrill of Driving School. But first, let us know what you think of this 3-part mini series. Have you enjoyed our Thrill of Driving videos? What did you learn? If you have any questions, drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Evo India channel and give us a thumbs up. If there's good enough demand, we will be back with another Thrill of Driving School. But till then, be safe. All this practicing, do it on a safe, controlled area, not on a public road, and practice. Practice will make you better, and all these skills, all that does is improves your car control and makes you a faster, safer, and far better road driver.
Here we go now.